Welcome to your video for Sunday, May 28. My name is Ari. I will be your host for today's videos. There will be a brief video 1 and then a longer video 2. We have Elvis at the bottom of the deck. Oh, I almost had a little slide there. We're going to choose 3 celebrities of which may have an advice for you or intentions, okay? Let's get the shuffle going. On the split, we have Ravi Shankar and Elvis. Okay, you've had them before, so I'm just going to keep going. For Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, what are the messages they need to see? What do they need to see and hear for today, May 28th? Looks like you're going to get Elvis, which is not a bad person to get, Libras. Welcome back to the channel. Also, if you're returning, welcome also. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Thank you. So we're going to go with the bottom of the deck. Who do you guys have here? We have Keith Richards. So one part of the member, he was with Mick Jagger. What group was this? Rolling Stones, I believe. Be your own best impersonator is the message. Be your own best impersonator. Underneath that is the lesson. Never be accused of anything you haven't already confessed to. Laugh at your own darkness. So I think you're with Keith Richards. He makes light of a situation, being a part of a band. Of course, there's other stars, right? I believe he's in a band with Mick Jagger. Correct me if I'm wrong, Libras. I could be thinking of a whole nother. I do believe it's the Rolling Stones. Laugh at Your Own Darkness is where they kind of have the song title name. And also the lesson is never be accused of anything you haven't already confessed to. So I think here people had maybe the wrong opinion or they jumped to conclusions. That's immediately what I feel from the card. And Keith Richards was still very much owning up to his uniqueness, being a part of this band. Also, he created a name for himself later on, of course, through relationships. He did meet somebody incredible later down the line, and he created his own image. Okay, so you have that first. And also when he did that kind of image makeover, he also set himself apart from whatever he came from. So I love that because it's also speaking of someone very unique. Okay, possibly misconceptions and misjudgments from other people, but I think they're learning that now through their own karma. Okay, next is Jimi Hendrix. So you have this beautiful card. I'm going to give you a couple moments to look at the artwork itself. The message is only losers stay in tune. If you live in a room full of mirrors, all you will see is yourself. Technology is your tool, but it will never set you free. Okay, so he is also another very original superstar. Guitars are his thing. He was one of the masters of this. It does say, and I do want to repeat this one more time, only losers stay in tune. So it's about kind of changing your repertoire, of how you play or how you are different from others, right? In a crowd, how you set your look apart, how you set your ambiance apart. Jimi Hendrix will always be remembered because even his style of dress was as wild as the symphonics he created with his guitar. So I see that here, 2 really original people so far. So this might be about authenticity and originality for all of you watching today. Your last one, I just saw who it is. It is a female. Dolly Parton next in shuffle. So I'm gonna have you guys look. She's looking a little bit like Jessica Simpson from the early 2000s. It's so funny because I think she was dressed up a little bit more in this photo. It says, the higher the heels, the closer to heaven. Caution will get you nowhere. The most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones. One more time. Dolly Parton is also, as you know right now, with modern superstars like Miley Cyrus, they still very much revere her in interviews and they talk about her to this date. And when I think of Dolly Parton, you guys saw it, like I immediately smiled. She is somebody, no matter what kind of personality she put out into the world, she's someone that you can associate to sun and happiness, and even her clothing style. Even these bad boys right here used to make me laugh as a kid because I'd always wonder about her during the late 90s, early 2000s. The best part of this message is the most precious diamonds are sometimes disguised as rhinestones. Okay, so some of you, like I'm hearing diamond in the rough. A lot of people might not be readily seeing you, or you might feel invisible, Libra, at times because there's something about like you've remained intact with your values. People might miss this when they see you because they might have predisposed opinions. Okay, I know for me, I went to the grocery store a few days ago. I was just lining up with my regular things, and I kept saying to myself, why at this age, do I feel like I have an invisibility cloak? I was with my nephews too the next day, and it was sort of like that. Like there's no communication. Everybody's sort of in their own world, especially post-COVID. So I do feel like she's a standout even in country music to this day. You can still remember Dolly as like a happy, poignant part of your childhood, or even, how she used to dress. I do believe these are very original artists: Jimi Hendrix, Dolly Parton, and you do have Keith Richards. So just remember this authenticity. And they came out, there was nothing changed about them. You can even see in the photographs, they're all dressed wildly, very different from each other. They stayed true to their core and where they came from as well. As you can see, the Union Jack in the back of Keith Richards. So this is message number 1, Libras. I think the highest message here is authenticity. Let's check with Moonology if we can get any sort of confirmation of this. Can you show me with these oracle cards, what is the most important message? What's the takeaway message here? One more shuffle. What's the takeaway message? Thank you. I see this top one this was moving a lot while I was shuffling. Full moon in Cancer, a personal issue will reach resolution. So this could be a close as you reach your most authentic self, Libras. Most authentic self. Most authentic self. I feel like all the resolutions of a previous karmic cycle are now coming to a close. This does give me a nuance of reward with family. With this full moon in Cancer, they are all about nurturing the family, the home, the connections that are important to them. That's a Cancer in a nutshell. And I feel like it's your true authentic self that people are going to either reminisce about, remember, and actually celebrate you for coming up. Okay, so this is the smaller oracle one. For today, I'm going to jump into tarot in video 2. Please remember today to be gracious with who you're around. If it's not a family weekend, just treat yourself kindly as well. Video 2 is coming up. Thank you, guys.